We start the film in the middle of a police chase. Two criminals flee the authorities after pulling the biggest heist of their lives. Confident they will get away without trouble, Rico savors the loot until his partner tells him the situation. Without thinking, he grabs a shotgun and tries to frighten their pursuers, but the officer notices in time and shoots him, killing him instantly. With no escape, Vincent gets out of the vehicle to confront the officer. A shootout begins in which the policeman shoots him in the shoulder. Confident that it is all over, Chavez approaches, and the thief ends up shooting him. Unfortunately for him, Chavez's colleagues arrest him. Some indeterminate time later, we see Vincent strengthening his knuckles against his cell until the wall is covered in blood. Meanwhile, in San Francisco, the boy's father receives a call from one of his colleagues who informs him that he has just found his son. They discover that for a long time, he has been calling himself Victor. He is locked up in Valverde prison in California and was sentenced for robbery, among other crimes. They intend to blame him for the death of an undercover policeman named Ramon Chavez. They fail to consider that the officer shot at them to kill. He ended his partner's life and shot his son in the shoulder. Without wasting much time, Alex packs his things to go to California and visit his son in prison. After an intense search by the guards, Alex finally sees his son after a long time, but Viney does not seem very happy to see him again. Viney calls him by his name and asks the reason for his visit. Alex tells him he only wanted to see him. He was told that his new name is Victor, and he explains that his mother wanted to give him that name in honor of his great-grandfather. They decided the name with a coin toss. He asks if he has had problems with other inmates. Immediately after, we see a scene of Viney being attacked by his cellmate. Viney says his informant, who turns out to be a drug trafficker with many contacts, told him something about an undercover policeman, and he wants to know the real version of what happened. Vincent tells him they are fleeing with the loot. Apparently, they did not know that the man following them was an undercover policeman. They thought he was a renegade. When his partner dies in the car, he stops to face the man and ends up killing him with a shot to the abdomen. His father reproaches him for having shot him, to which Vincent replies that he has also killed other people. Alex says it is very different. If he killed those people, it was because of his duty. It turns out his father was part of a special undercover operations unit, which is why he did not have much time for them. His son tells him it is already too late. At school, he pretended his father was great, when in reality, he almost never saw him. He did not even attend his graduation. When his mother was on her deathbed, all she wanted was to see her husband. He had to deceive her by saying he was on his way and would visit them any moment. His father apologizes and tells him he is very sorry. His son becomes enraged and walks away, saying he does not know what that means. Now we meet Max, an inmate tried for 4 terrorist attacks with numerous fatalities. He has provoked 4 fights in which 3 inmates have died, and he has had a confrontation with the warden. He gouged out an inmate's eyeball while that man was still alive. From that moment on, no one dares to mess with him, not even the biggest inmates. Considering the time he has served to date, Max is attempting to request parole. His reason for obtaining it is that he has found Jesus Christ in his life, and he claims he is more dangerous in prison than free. While he mocks the sergeant, we see men dressed as guards planting bombs throughout the facility. Enraged by his comments, the sergeant tries to attack the inmate, but the supposed guards neutralize him. As the bombs detonate, Max tells the guards to finish them off. Once the team takes control of the prison, they contact their boss to inform him they will move to Phase 2. The terrorist informs the prisoners that he has just taken control of the entire prison and offers them a chance at freedom. They can choose to stay under his command until his demands are met, or they can leave the place peacefully. His men will not stop them. From now on, they are free, and if they choose to stay in the prison, he will take care of all their demands. For the minimum wage employees and visitors who came to see their loved ones, his men will take their phones and escort them to the mess hall, where they will be held at gunpoint until it is over. If anyone intervenes in their plans, they will be executed immediately. He asks his partner to start a live stream and introduces himself, saying he is just an inmate. He is in Valverde State Prison in California and was tried for placing and detonating bombs in churches and government buildings 12 years ago. He has taken control of the prison to make his demands known and has granted freedom to the other inmates. If his demands are not met, he will demolish the rest of the prison with all the hostages inside. All he asks is that the remaining 6 members of his family be released and that their transfer be facilitated to a country with no extradition treaty with the United States. As soon as he receives confirmation that they are safe aboard their own helicopter, he will relinquish control of the prison and deactivate the bombs, freeing the hostages. When he crosses paths with an apparent guard, the ex-soldier asks him for help and realizes he is not the same man who searched him before entering the visiting room. While taking him to the hospital, Alex asks several questions, which makes the man suspicious, and he attempts to attack him. The ex-soldier manages to take cover, then neutralizes him and uses his equipment. Meanwhile, outside, the police arrive accompanied by Inspector Coleman. Apparently, several inmates managed to escape. Some were arrested and others are being tracked. The person responsible for what happened is the renowned bomb disposal expert. Back with the attackers, Max heads to the control room. His men inform him that several prisoners want to join his team, and one of them greets him formally and says he will do whatever he asks. The terrorist approaches and slits his throat with his own hands. He does not want people who lick his boots, because he believes those are the first to betray their friends. He asks about the weapons depot, and the ex-soldier's son responds that he will take care of bringing them. Max tells them to follow him. They must arm themselves to be prepared for any situation. The inspector uses the loudspeakers to communicate with the attackers and explains that their demands require a lot of time to fulfill. Any prisoners detained outside the prison will face severe consequences. Angry at his words, the terrorist fires at the ground, pretending he just killed one of the prison doctors. He contacts Chaz and tells him he has just killed one of the hostages. His patience is running out. Suddenly, the ex-soldier contacts the inspector to tell him to ignore the prisoner's orders. The caller is an ally who could help from inside and says he has just killed a man wearing a guard's uniform. They mention they would take the hostages to the mess hall, but he still does not see any of the hostages and believes they are all dead. At that moment, Alex sees 2 muscular men heading to the bathroom. When one of them is left alone, the ex-soldier attacks him from behind and then shoots the other man. Moving stealthily, the ex-soldier eliminates the men who cross his path. When he speaks again with the prisoner, the inspector informs him they are doing everything possible to meet his demands, but need a little more time. Max fires at the ground again and lies, saying he has just killed another hostage because of their negligence. Continuing with the ex-soldier, he runs into 3 prisoners who claim to be the kings of the prison and say they will kill anyone who crosses their path. Alex gets their attention by whistling and throwing a smoke grenade. Using his knife, the ex-soldier neutralizes 2 of the prisoners in a matter of seconds. In the control room, Max is talking with Vincent about his story when suddenly one of the 3 prisoners who escaped appears to inform him that 2 of his men have just been killed. The man who attacked them threw a smoke bomb and was not dressed as a police officer. Max contacts the inspector again to tell him that his men are being killed. He pretends to shoot another hostage and says he doesn't like it when people break the agreed rules. Then the inspector sends a message to Alex asking him to call. The ex-soldier is surprised to learn that the police have identified him. He tells them again that he is on their side, but Coleman tells him to stop. He must leave immediately. He has exposed his presence, and the prisoner is executing the hostages. Alex assures him that the prisoner is lying. He has explored half of the penitentiary and has not run into any hostages. He asks a favor and wants to know if any of the released prisoners are named Vincent Barros. The inspector replies that none are. The ex-soldier tells him that Vincent is his son and believes he is still inside the prison. The terrorist tells his team that someone is trying to steal their freedom and that his men are being killed. The one responsible is not a cop. He must be a member of the special forces. They are the only ones capable of staying undetected for so long. Whoever brings his dead body will earn $1 million in cash. As he continues forward, the ex-soldier comes across the bodies of the hostages. He quickly contacts the inspector and informs him that the hostages are dead. After hanging up, the ex-soldier encounters another prisoner. They start fighting. The veteran attacks him with a sharp object, but the prisoner doesn't even flinch. When Alex throws him to the ground, he grabs his weapon and shoots him. Before dying from blood loss, the prisoner tries to kill him, but due to the gunshots, he ends up dead. When the inspector speaks with the terrorist again, Coleman tells him that he already knows all the hostages are dead and that there is nothing left to negotiate. Meanwhile, Vincent confronts the attacker. When he realizes it is his father, he gets furious and tells him he always ruins everything. Alex tries to convince him to stay away from the terrorist. All the hostages are dead. Viney asks him to stop lying. When Max pretended to kill someone, he actually shot the ground. He is one of the few people Viney has met who truly understands how hard the world is. His father tells him that Max will end up killing him, but Vincent responds that Alex is the one killing everyone. Max hasn't even touched the hostages. He shoots his father in the leg and walks away, telling him to leave. Taking shelter in the bathroom, the ex-soldier takes a drink before tending to his wound. After removing the bullet and wrapping it with bandages, Max tries to contact one of his men, but the one who answers is the ex-soldier. Max tells him his actions are side effects of progress and that he will understand once he spends time locked up in prison. Alex replies that he was imprisoned once in the Philippines. They went to rescue a congressman whose plane had been shot down, and he lost all his men. He ended up in a prison camp and had to escape on his own because the government never made a deal. The only good thing that came from it was that he retired with honors. His pension equals what a burger joint manager earns. The terrorist tells him that he worked for the Los Angeles police. He received a bad diagnosis from the department psychiatrist and was discharged with a compensation that was barely enough to live on. But thanks to that, he found his calling. The ex-soldier tells him he remembers his name. He is a former cop who became a terrorist and says he doesn't believe that one bad evaluation justifies killing innocent people. Max says he has only killed some of those responsible for the social and economic decay of the nation. They haven't killed him yet because he leaked information to the FBI, but after what has happened, he doesn't think they'll find him useful anymore, neither as a cop nor as an informant, because he exposed his emotions. It's too late for him. The ex-soldier says he understands and proposes a deal between men. He asks Max to go with him for protection. The terrorist replies that he knows Alex is neither a cop nor a prison officer and would like to know what he actually does. Alex answers that he is just the janitor. Max starts laughing, knowing he's lying. He says Alex wouldn't risk his life to save strangers. There must be someone he's trying to rescue. The ex-soldier contacts the inspector and tells him that his son is in danger. Somehow, the terrorist convinced him to join his team. Coleman tells him they will deceive the terrorist. A helicopter is about to arrive, and they will make him believe it's for his transfer to the border. But what he doesn't know is that his superiors are aware the hostages have already been executed. When the helicopter takes off, the terrorist will be taken down. The special team will enter the prison and extract the rest of the unit. Alex asks him to make sure they don't hurt his son, but the inspector says he can't promise anything. It's out of his control. He has only a few minutes before the team shows up. Despite being seriously wounded, the ex-soldier continues advancing through the prison to save his son. He runs into more of the terrorists' men, and a shootout begins. Using his wit and experience from covert operations, Alex neutralizes his enemies one by one. As he is about to leave, the ex-soldier encounters the terrorist's right-hand man. He drops his gun and challenges him to a fistfight. Alex lands several punches, but Ruck mocks him, saying he expected more. He knows exactly how the men who served in covert operations are. They are used to pain. He tells Alex he spent several weeks in a Taliban camp in Afghanistan where he endured waterboarding, a torture he thought he would not survive. The American army arrived with all their firepower but left him behind. They passed less than 15 meters away and did nothing to save him. That's when he realized people like Max were right. They are expendable to those who give the orders. The only way to make them listen is to give them fire and watch them run. Alex gets back up and punches him several times in the face, finally killing him with a direct blow to the neck. A few minutes later, Max receives word that his helicopter has arrived. He has 5 minutes to board. Leaving his entire team behind, Max tells Viney to come with him. The helicopter is ready. Viney says they can't leave the team behind, but Max tells him they can't wait any longer. If he wants to come, he must drop his weapon. Otherwise, they'll open fire. As they reach the rooftop, the terrorist points his gun at Vincent, believing the helicopter was given to him as a setup to kill him. He asks if the man who's been killing his men is someone he knows, and Vincent replies that it's his father, but that he doesn't care what happens to him. He doesn't even like him. Max tells him he will test him. He gives Vincent the gun and tells him to shoot, to end his life with a bullet to the head leaving his fate in his hands, but Vincent can't pull the trigger. The terrorist tells him he has an entire new life ahead and that he's proud of his decisions. As he takes the gun away, Alex appears to stop him. Max shoots him without hesitation, and his son runs to help him. His father asks him to lift the gun, and with that, he manages to shoot the terrorist. Even though Max is wounded, he gets up again, but the ex-soldier decides to let him go. With Vincent leaving the prison to help his father, the movie comes to an end.